Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and finding our inner Brock and Michelle.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce, or actually we're going to go oldie but goodie. How about we do Will and Jada? You know, especially since Queen Jada got that Red Table Talk, I have not had time to sit down and watch a full episode, but all the snippets and clips I see are really interesting. Like, we always knew Jada was dynamic, right? From them children, because I think all of us, we were still it was still out for the jury if them children was okay. What was it, about 10 years ago? It was a little more. Everybody was like, I don't know.
You know,
we keeping them prayed up, but they came out beautiful.
You know, CPS got called on them, right? You remember when?
What? I don't remember that.
Remember when Willow took that picture with that kid or that other boy, and like in between his legs or whatever.
Oh, I do remember that.
And they threw so much of a hoopla that they end up getting investigated by CPS.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Yeah, whoever did that was some hating ass niggas. And need to kind of mind their own business.
Right.
At least their own neighborhood. Right.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I remember that. But even before, I'm not even talking about that. I would just say, I think it was more Jaden than Willow, right?
Right.
Jaden always was eclectic, right? Since he was a baby, because he had such a jump, right? Because I think when we first all thought about Jaden Smith, we thought about him in Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah. When he was a little tight-tongued 5-year-old, and then all of a sudden he became a teenager and was just talking some off-the-wall shit.
Yes, he went from a tight-tongued 5-year-old to wearing an all-white Batman suit
as a teenager.
Where was he? Was he going to Met Gala?
I don't know where he was at. Somebody's party. I don't know. It was just something that we was just like, we tilted our heads like the pugs. But I still didn't, I said, because the thing is, at that age, children lose their motherfucking mind, period. Money, no money, black, white, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. They all lose their fucking mind between the ages of, what would y'all say, 11 and what about 18?
Yeah.
And there's a slow recovery from 18 on. Slow, like they still gonna do fuck shit in their 20s, but the hope is as they get older they do less fuck shit, right? So I, being an educator, being like, that's normal, it's just rich normal, and us as po niggas, we not used to no shit like that, but it was still within the means of normalcy when it comes to adolescence, right?
So he wore it to Kanye's and Kim's wedding. That's when he wore the all white Batman suit.
And y'all already know. Y'all don't think Will and Jada said nothing to him. Y'all niggas done called the police on him last time. They can't yoke his ass up in public, especially at Kim and Kanye wedding. Y'all trying to get them to catch a case?
Right.
But as y'all can see, them children came out just fine. Still eclectic, right? But I have no doubt that the Smith children are woke. They know what the fuck is going on, why it is. Now, do they show it in a different way and express themselves differently? Yes, but who cares about that, right? I just need them to be grounded.
Right.
In the readings about.
But also, in addition to like Jada doing her thing, Will is living his best life ever since he got on Instagram and living his YouTube channel and shit.
He's running a close second to President Barack Obama. Between Barack Obama and Will Smith, them two Negroes, as much respect as I can say with that statement.
That is the definition of black boy joy.
Their best life. I haven't seen President Obama sad, frown, upset. He done lost weight, looking good, skin clear, look like his hair black again. I don't know how your hair go from gray to black.
In latest news,
he was looking great.
You started rumors talking about President Barack. Next thing you know, this just broke. President Barack wears Beijing on his head.
Don't y'all do that to him? Y'all, I'm just playing. You're right. I got to be careful what I say.
Right.
But he looking good. His hairline is looking thick. How about that? Because stress will pull your hair out too. But the hairline was looking luscious. Michelle, she looked happy too, but she a black woman. So we always got the weight in the back of our heads for some reason. But just shout out to Will and Jada and their love. And, it was always rumors that they had open marriage. I don't know if they do or don't. Shit, it looks like it's working if they do.
Right. Whatever they got going on, it seemed to be working.
Both of them youngest, they looking young. No one's aging. They kids, all of it. And, we forget about Will Smith's older son. What's his name? Andre or Dre?
Yeah.
Who's the ultimate normal one. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't even know what that nigga look like.
Will Smith. if we talking about all the kids who really could have and would have and should have acted out, he should have, right?
Right.
So he was, with Will Smith when West Philadelphia, y'all born, like, you know what I'm saying? When he literally was pulling broken Philly. Then had this baby young, you know what I'm saying? Like, so his youngest son, his oldest son doesn't see it at all. So his oldest son, he might not remember being poor, but during his childhood, sometimes he ain't had no coins, right? And then this point with both his parents, I'm not sure if Will and I think her name is Cherie or Cheryl. I'm not sure if they were married, but they were tight, right? So he went through that breakup and the merging of a new family and new brothers and sisters, and you ain't heard a peep out that boy. So he the real trill one.
No, they were married.
What's his name? What's his son name? Dre? Am I saying that wrong? Trey, not Andre. Trey. Like, he the one who really could have cut a fucking fool.
Right.
And he might, meanwhile, living actually that whole family, because his ex-wife could have cut a fucking fool too. That whole crew could have been they all could have been on a spinoff on BET easily. They could have never mind, I almost said. They could have gave the Cole family a run for their money if they wanted to. If they wanted to, right?
Yeah.
But I guess they love the Lord, honey. I don't know. They on that forgiveness. See, that's what I'm trying to get on forgiveness. These are the examples of forgiveness. Yeah. If you too forgive, you can be melanated, hydrated, and happy like the Smith family. What? Who is you?
I'm Nero.
And I'm Nyambi.
And this is episode 143.
133. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, folks. Be sure to leave a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher, and follow us on all forms of social media. That's at Black Love Matters. Remember, that's Black with no K. What you got going on? I haven't talked to you all day.
You have not, and we're not about to go down this road and just bore the listeners with just random updates because we haven't talked all day. You out here soon, though.
Yeah, T-minus a week or so.
A little over a week. This feel like it's going fast but slow, ain't it?
Yes.
And speaking of work, they was like, so what are you gonna do with your long holiday, your long weekend? What the fuck is y'all talking? I'm glad they said something. I didn't know Memorial Day was Monday. I would have walked up in there. I'd be like, what a snaps? Where is everybody? And the thing is, I wouldn't have noticed probably for the first hour because no one comes to work before 10. But, usually Nyams try to get in there between 8 and 9, right? Closer to 8. And usually start getting populated.
Right.
8:45 on. Honestly, we really working about 10. So it probably took me to about 10 to look around. Look.
Where is everybody? Hello? Anybody cooking breakfast?
This is me. Look, did Donald Trump? This is me hating as what the fuck Donald Trump done did? Do I need to go to the church? So I didn't even know. Did you know it was Memorial Day? Like, I know the season of Memorial Day was coming, but I didn't know Memorial Day was Monday.
Yeah, I knew it was Monday.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I felt so crazy. Like, because even when they said it, I know they looked at me like I was crazy. They was like, you got plans for the weekend? I said, no. They was like, what about Monday? I said, it's Monday.
Like, I'll be here.
She's like, yo, disrespectful. Like, they was like, oh, it's the long weekend. I said, dang. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going long weekend on this couch.
I know you've been wanting to do that for the longest.
You know what? I might. Oh, no. You know what? I said I was going to buy a book. I ain't going to buy a book. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not even going to read. I said I was going to read. Fuck that. I'm going to do what Tam showed me to do. I'm going to download The Mother of Hollywood. And the Black Mother of Hollywood, and I'm gonna put them in my headphones, and I'm gonna listen to her all weekend and watch movies. Okay. I might be studious and pop out a couple things for work. That's it. I ain't barbecuing. I'm not cooking anything lavish. Whatever's in that freezer and refrigerator. I'm sorry. I almost said I'm thinking of my grandfather, Frigidaire, and it came out too fast. That's what I'm eating. I'm done. Oh, this is my check-in. Shit. Yeah. There we go.
Is that it?
No, I'm acting like I'm having a conversation with you. I was waiting for you to ask something about your day. Other things, working here is good. Like, I'm living, what is it? The Mason Puff Daddy. No more money, no more problems. I feel like as soon as I get a little piece of change, it go right out the door, honey. Jesus. And I'm trying to be in a spirit of gratitude because the Lord placed me in this situation, have this extra money, so I'm able to do certain things, right? So, I'm in the process of like paying off some debt, and I was out of a job for a minute to the point where, I completely drained my retirement and just trying to adjust my withholdings from my paycheck so my retirement can get, so I don't have to wait 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So I can get my retirement back where it needs to be as quickly as possible. Little bills that come up, right? And P.O. box. It's just like the little things that are killing me. Look, that's my mama calling me, y'all. I'm so sorry. She won't let me be great, will she? So it's like those little things that, although little, they add up, right?
Right.
And this idea of, being at the point where you be spending your last before, when you've been at your last before, you hold on even tighter to your money. And you really start to penny pinch and count. So I'm feeling a little anxiety around that, right? Anxiety, not that I'm in a horrible place, right? But it's like, shit. Here we go again, right? So, and I'm sure, Niram, you're probably going to talk about the closing of the house and that foolishness, but I'm just feeling angst around that. I'm just feeling angst around, finances and making the right decision and, what's the balance, right, between doing what you're supposed to do, cutting ends, and living your fucking life, right? So I'm in my 30s. I'm going to have bills for a while, right? But, what's the balance? When do I be like, fuck it? And also, y'all know I'm a poor black girl from Detroit. So how do I fight the urge to be hood rich?
Right. Furs on fancysuccess.com is looking fly.
Or, being smart and getting a little way, right? Like, it's just like, how do you fight these? And they urge, and I know, right? I know I ain't about to go do nothing about nothing crazy, but it's something in me to be like, damn, you done had a rough almost 2 damn years. Can I do this? So it's just like this dichotomy and these voices back and forth in my head. And I've been having trouble sleeping and I don't like none of that. And it's the thing for a change. It's not about work or anything. Like, I enjoy what I do, right? It's that I'm having like internal conflict within my head about stuff. That's Niram, sir. Yeah. And Niram told me I need to let that go.
You do.
I am. I might have to take some melatonin tonight though, because it's getting where I'm waking up consistently at the same time every night. And I'm like, fuck, what is on my mind?
Yeah.
And I need to shake it. Well, every time I get up, I need to get back to base. I need to get on my knees. I used to do that. I'm like, well, I guess the Lord want to talk, honey. Let me go wipe the sleep out my eyes. Yeah. So y'all let me know if y'all have had the same feelings, or how do you navigate with this anxiety when it comes to finances, right? And, just being fiscally fit with your money and being confident in the decisions you're making and knowing you're doing the best you can do. Right. On a lighter note, shout out to Lena Waithe for being honored with the Trailblazers Award at the MTV Movie and TV Awards. Like, I am so happy for Lena. I remember we called this shit, Nero.
We did.
Before you niggas even knew who Queen Lena Waithe was. We gave y'all niggas an assignment. Assignment America. What is America for Funniest Home Videos? Watch Master of None Thanksgiving episode. It was so fucking good. I had to look at the goddamn credits. Right. Because I know Aziz, that little Indian boy, ain't write that. That was too real. That was too real to the black culture. Right. And I looked up EP Lena Waithe. I said, who the fuck is Lena Waithe? And it was like, oh, it's the black girl in the show. Right. And then from there, it started fucking trickling. And I said, oh, this bitch is funny.
We tweeted her. We told her she was the shit. She retweeted it.
That's when we should have got in with her now. We should have made a blood bond at that moment and be like, hey, sis.
We should have reached out to her then. Hey, you want to be on the show?
Look, what is it? I got to treat it like corporate. Is there a way we can connect the last email? You know how you be shady? Was it corporate clapbacks? Yeah. As per my last text, my tweet.
Per our last tweet where you retweeted us last year this time.
Shout out. We would like to be J Papa parents.
Yes. Absolutely.
Is that an opening? Is that something that's available? Could I be J Papa mama?
Yes. I would love to be.
I'll do whatever you need me to do. Like, I already know we did like this whole Black Intimate setup, but like, if you need me to be a crackhead, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You too.
Absolutely. Stanley.
We done sold out in 2 seconds.
What's his name? Stanley. Stanley boy. Where your mama at?
Come to mama. Come to mama. We gotta stop it, but nobody take it like Queen Monique, honey. Oh, she played a good crackhead.
She did.
Monique, Halle Berry, and Alfre Wood. God damn it, they play a good crackhead. Or a black woman in distress. Wow. Y'all go look back some of that old Halle Berry shit. When I tell you she played a crackhead, some of y'all don't put the respect that needs to be on Halle Berry's name. right? Some of the stuff she done feel a little flat, but she got the privilege of that. If you look at some of that shit when they was paying her $20 a scene,
yeah.
When I tell you Queen was laying it on the line, she was laying that shit on the line. So shout out to Lena, and also speaking of Queen Smith, Miss Jada, she talked about wearing a head wrap due to hair loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's something in our community as women of color we don't talk about a lot, right? Losing hair, and I'm not talking about losing. It could be this too, but I know when we talk about losing hair initially, we talk about it when it comes like when we're wearing weaves or braids or manipulations of hairstyle. Whereas what's it called, traction alopecia?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a whole segment of women who just like in their genes, right? Hereditary? Yeah, it's hereditary, right? Where they just have thinning hair, like men, right? It might be on their side of the family where they just have really thin hair or, lose their hair early. So I admire her coming out and talking about it and being honest because it helps, right? And there's ways to embrace it, right? It ain't nothing wrong with wearing a hair wrap. Ain't no wrong with wearing a wig, or ain't no wrong with wearing a low Caesar either. Because what's her name? Harriet Tubman do it. Jesus, she make that shit look good. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but especially in the culture of pushing all these hair vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
All
you need is some.
Y'all stop paying all that money for them hair affinity vitamins. Listen to Nyambi. Just go ahead and buy you some biotin.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Look, it's some other stuff you can do to supplement it. I don't even think that's necessary. But when you buy that biotin shit, you're going to have to drink a lot of water because it'll come out on your face, honey.
I heard prenatal vitamins make your hair grow too.
That's because it got extra like vitamin D, vitamin C, and biotin in it.
Oh.
And that's because it got that shit in it. But if you really trying to look for nail and hair growth, go get you some biotin, some high quality biotin. Get up to 10,000 IUs a day.
Mm-hmm.
Pop them and drink a lot of water. But then also know if your family just don't. Everybody don't got it long and silky, huh?
But that's the thing though. Like in the black community, our hair is everything. Like
allegedly, it's supposed to be our crowns, right?
Yeah, like the hair is everything. So for her to come on, and talk about this, but it also just shows like, even the rich and famous have issues that regular people have, and it's something. It humanizes it. I think that even Jada, who's the queen of all queens, feels some type of way about her hair. That the reason, and that's one of the reasons why she wear turbans or hair wraps lately. And just saying, like, it can be stress, it can be genetics, it can be a lot of stuff.
No, because the doctors don't have an answer for her now.
Right.
Yeah. Or hereditary. That's why I said sometimes it's just sometimes shit just happens because one of my favorite, this Sunday I was with my god sister and we were just doing some stuff, and the reoccurring thing that we kept saying is sometimes you go through stuff just to get through stuff. And I know that sometimes that's a shady ass answer. Sometimes you just go through stuff to get through it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to her and all the other folks out there. Be it to, of your own means, having that silky too tight, or some traction alopecia, or it's hereditary, stress, medication, you don't know why, right? Know that there's solutions. But you're right, Nira. I'm glad you pointed that out. It's okay to feel it. Whatever that feeling is, right? So if it's hurt, if it's sadness, if it's ashamed, or if it's empowerment, it's okay. It's okay to feel it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And know that you're not alone in this struggle. But stop buying them vitamins. Stop buying them. They be like $30, $40 a bottle.
Well, it's like the skinny tea.
You can buy some biotin for like $10.
It's like the skinny tea.
And like for a 90-day supply.
Well, funky doesn't even call it skin tea.
yeah, funky doesn't even call it Lipton skin tea. Not Lipton's. Oh, that's the worst tea on earth. That is so bitter. Oh my goodness. I mean, teas do work, and the thing is, even with them skinny teas, like they do work, right? Because they work as a form of a laxative and an anti-inflammatory, right? So you're pushing that water weight off you. Hopefully, with the tea, you're drinking more water. Like all that ties into weight loss, and if you're cutting calories, you're gonna lose weight. But all we're saying is, if you just look at the ingredients on skinny tea, you can then type into your computer those exact ingredients or that tea and buy it for half the price.
Exactly.
That's all we're saying. I'm not saying it don't work. It does work. If you're using a laxative, or I shouldn't say laxative. Well, some of them is though. Be careful.
Right.
Some of the ones who are unfavorable is laxative. They will make you go
It's just caffeine and laxative. So you're jittery and you're shitting at the same time.
Yeah, but the ones that are a little bit more, holistic, I like to stay, are more like diuretics, right? So they're really making you kind of pull that water off you. And by you pulling the water, you're drinking more water. You're supposed to be eating less. Like, it's a cycle, right? It makes sense. But it's just a little cheaper ways to do it without spending all your coins. And I know that skinny tea be adding up, be like $100. No, sis, you can get you the finest of tea for half of that.
Right.
For half of that. So shout out to that. Niran, what's your check-in?
I miss my yambies. I'm ready to come home, baby. I'm tired of white ass New England.
You done? You over it?
I'm done, son. So we T-minus 3 or so days to the close of our house, and some bullshit always happens.
Yeah, we still selling the house, y'all. Don't open it like that.
No. But we selling the house, but we got an email from the HOA, and it was like, we just want to let you all know that there's a special assessment. And it's like, the special assessment wasn't like cheap. It's like almost $2,000.
Yeah, it was not a cheap special assessment.
And then the HOA president calls, sends one of us an email.
They called me, and I don't answer phone numbers from New England. Because all my friends don't even got numbers collected to New England, so I know it ain't them. Mm-hmm. Anything that's New England, leave a message.
So I call her, and she's, trying to white woman me. Just super. I'm so sorry. I know we trying to wait, but what if that? And it's like, our house is going to close. I don't want to hear this shit, right? So I'm going to fuck off. Like, this is so disrespectful. Like, how the fuck y'all going to do this special assessment and without giving people notice?
Like 4 days.
Like, this is poor business.
And the thing is, it wasn't due for the whole complex in 4 days, right? And they able to make payments. Like, the HOA doesn't do that, but you got to tell them how it works for us, Niram.
Well, that's the thing. So the bill or the special assessment is due 30 days from when we got it. So we got it, and it's 30 days from there. But however, we close in like 3 days.
3 days, yeah.
And since we are part of HOA and a condo, they're like, well, we can't give you the paperwork to say you can sell your house because all liens and debts got to be paid. And since this special assessment just came out, you got a new debt of $2,000 you got to pay before we give you the paperwork.
They wanted me to be real nigga rich on them.
Said the fuck?
You try to fuck up my closing?
I'm sorry. I wish there was something else we can do. Maybe you can talk to somebody. No, ho, I'm talking to you. The fuck you mean I got to pay this money before we sell the house?
Bye. And it's just with the days. Like, even if we got this maybe a week or two ago, I don't think I would have been that hot.
Right. So I think that's the thing. The thing is...
And like, that's what I'm thinking about, like, finance. Like, I feel like it's always something, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's just like, thank you, Jesus, right? Thank you by the blood of the Lamb.
And that's the thing. Like, it's literally like 4 days from when we about to close, and you talking about we got to come out of $2,000.
Well, I just moved across the country about a month ago. Niram right behind me. Niram don't got no job.
Right.
I got a piece of job. Like, what are we? The grace and mercy of the Lord.
So I'm going off. I'm going ham. I'm cussing motherfuckers out. I'm calling them all types of crafty colonizers and everything else. And then comes Niram, baby, it's okay. We'll figure it out.
Can you believe I was I was already ready to be like, how much it is? Like, swipe my card. Like, I don't care. Like, we're selling this fucking house.
And so, got that. And then, I got the lawyer on the phone. Lawyer, do your job.
Y'all can't wait till y'all have this housing episode. But we're going to have a whole episode about buying a house. But we need to just have an episode 2, Niram. We're going to put a pin on this, on just having lawyers on deck.
Yes.
There's just so many reasons why you need to have lawyers on deck. Absolutely. Lawyers on lawyers on lawyers. How many lawyers do I have?
Too many. So I called the lawyer, and the lawyer's like, don't pay that shit. I'm going to call them because actually I need that paperwork before, such and such day anyway. So I'll figure it out. I said, all right, do your job then, lawyer.
And that's why you have them, right? Mm-hmm. But that shit, that's what I'm saying. Adding that on top of everything, it's just exhausting, right?
Right. And I think that's one of the things. It was just one of those things to wake up the first thing in the morning, you check your emails, and that's the first thing you see is being like, hey, bitch, before you leave, here you got to pay $2,000. And I think, it's...
Because if you live there, even though it say 30 days, it's HOA, you be like, I get it when I give it. Like, right. That's how it is. Because it's like, well, bitch, you live here, right? We know where you live, right?
You know where I live. I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
But
so
it's
usually
just the
that's
fact
more
that
flexible if you live there. If you can't pay it all, you pay a couple $100s a month till it's gone, right? That's no problem. But
I
I'm
think it's
trying to
just
get
the
this fucked.
fact that it's like 4 days before, like we putting this ink on this paper, and the last thing you ever want, like with selling a house, is to have any other hurdles that make
Like
it feel
that,
like
'cause you have to
the
start over. Yeah.
seller wants
Yes.
to walk away. Because think
Yes.
about it, like as a new seller, and you went through everything, and then as soon as you sign the paperwork, they're like, "Here's a $2,000 bill."
$2,000. That's shady. Right.
That's shady work. But also, it's also fucked up to be like, all right, we got four more days. Hey, by the way, we got this $2,000 here. What you want to do? You want to split it? And then I'm like, oh, I got to split it. But fuck,
I don't
then
want
let's
none
try
of
to
this.
renegotiate this. Or
The
you know
whole
what?
deal.
I
And
don't
that
even
can
want the
shot a couple
house.
months. Yeah.
Right. Let's push this
Renegotiate
back. Let's start renegotiations all over again.
everything.
Over some shit that shouldn't have to happen. So I think that was
Yeah.
the thing, and that was the thing I was just trying to reiterate to the people is that this is the most unopportune time that y'all can just lay this shit on us.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have did this 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after,
or next Monday and Tuesday after Memorial, honey.
right? But you're gonna do this shit right before Memorial. These motherfuckers trying to go on vacation, pull out their yacht and boat shoes, and you got to pay this damn money. Fuck out of here. Ooh, that pissed me off.
It reiterated that I'm all set with condos.
Mm-hmm.
All set. I'm all set with HOAs, actually. I think maybe that's it. All set. I think it was over like some gutters.
Yeah. The fuck? Who approved this?
That's what I told you why I sat on the HOA board, because that one got through in Nyambi.
What the fuck? Who the fuck approved this?
That one got through. I was like, what the fuck? Because actually it was high. I was like, what else the fuck are we replacing? Are we making the gutters?
Mm-mm.
Because the HOA, like, whatever loan they took, it was a little high to me.
Yeah, so, grown up issues.
I don't got nothing to do with my ass. I'm gone.
Nyambi in California, my ass here, and I'm over here cussing motherfuckers out, raising hell. And then meanwhile, my motherfucking neighbors, it's 8 p.m., I'm taking out trash. One of the nosy ass neighbors gonna act like she watering her plants to talk to me. It's dark as fuck outside. Nero, when are you close? When are you leaving? Is Nyambi around? And I'm thinking to myself, what she got this watering pot for? Like she trying to water some plants. You ain't slick.
You need to be bold one night. Nyambi just knock on the door with some macaroons.
Exactly. That's what you should have did.
Every time new people come.
Don't white woman me.
Yep, I'm not. I just come out straight. I say, well, don't I say that? I brought you some macaroons. I just really wanted to be nosy though and see who you were. Mm-hmm. And they laugh. I'm like, I'm not playing.
I'm not playing here. Here's the macaroons. What's your name? Who you are? So, yeah, she tried to white woman me with them damn plants, watering some damn plants at 8 p.m. It's dark as fuck outside.
Telling you. But
so,
all right.
You got that shit. But on a lighter note, the Obamas got a Netflix deal, multi-year.
Did I manifest this? I thought we already said this.
No, they said it was in the talks, but the ink is dry now. The ink is dry like our closing of the house.
Amen. Amen. I need all of y'all, the prayer warriors, to get on their knees for this closing.
Open all your third eyes.
No more interruptions.
Mm-mm. So they got a production deal, multi-year production deal with Netflix. They're gonna be doing stuff in front of the camera, behind the camera. They thinking about doing some movies, some series, all types of stuff. Good so I'm super excited for them. I look forward to seeing what they produce.
Well, it's about to be election season again, which did it ever stop?
No.
We usually get a few months of a break.
Mm-hmm.
We got to actually, I need to get ready for election, right? Because I'm at that weird space where I'm a transplant. So I got to see where I need to look into California law to see how early I need to switch over my stuff so I can register to vote, or if I need to go ahead and pull mass ass and get me an absentee sent over here.
Gotcha.
Because some states be really funny.
Yeah, it is. About
residency and how early you have to apply and all that stuff. So I need to maybe that's what I'll do this weekend, Memorial Day, especially for honored events, right? Mm-hmm. What way better way to honor the vets, make sure I got my voting shit to go in order. So I need to start looking at timelines for California to see if I missed them or if I'm still in it. Because I've been seeing a lot of election commercials here in California.
Yeah.
I don't think they got some type of primary or special election going on, but it's going on. And if I'm too late for California, I need to go ahead and put in for my absentee now for Massachusetts. because my voice got to be heard.
Right. This is funny,
and y'all
but
do too. We have to do old school like undergrad.
Yes.
NAACP like voter registration.
Yes.
We need to read the laws. I know sometimes it's illegal for us to tell people to vote for it, but I wonder if there's ways we can work around that.
You know me. Who is the Black Caucus voting for?
Because y'all, we got to vote for everything, even the little minor stuff. Yeah. Everything has to be voted for.
Yeah. So next topic, next thing. So me and Nia was reading some things.
Who?
Nia.
Oh, okay.
So we was, out reading articles or whatever. Because like one of the things we just talk every day. So it's like, oh, Nia, I read this. Like, have you heard about this? So one of the things we end up coming upon is that there was a study at Harvard that said that men need to ejaculate at least 21 times a month, 21 times or more a month.
First of all, I don't know what you and Nia, y'all are on some bullshit.
Cut the odds of prostate cancer by 33%. That's what the new study said. Can you
please submit your sources and tell me what's their credibility number? You know what I'm talking about? What's that called? Their credibility.
No, you talking about the
what alpha. Is it called? What's the alpha of this journal?
Well, so it's in Harvard, and they survey 31,000
I don't care
men.
if it's at Harvard. Stop saying that.
It was at Harvard, and it was about 32,000 men, and they surveyed them, and it was like a longitudinal thing. But basically what it came down to is that by ejaculating more, that also flushed out the system of the prostate, which in turns lower your risk for prostate cancer. So,
well, that doesn't mean y'all anyway, because I'm sure it was no niggas in the study.
Naomi, don't.
That's white men.
Don't piss on our parade. So, fellas out there, if you're trying to, get your ladies to, get it on with you.
I don't know what you're trying to. Are you saying sublims?
Look, all you got to do is be like, don't you want me to live as long as possible? Help save my life by getting me this nut.
Who said that save a life, suck a dick?
Suck a dick and save a life. I don't know. But brothers, 21 times a month, and that'll reduce your risk of prostate cancer by 33%. That's a lot. That's a third. I don't know who got that much time to
more
get
fact.
21 nuts off. I can see you the article. It's published and everything.
Ashley, I'm not an academia anymore. I really don't care.
Okay, then.
But y'all niggas is trying it. Oh, my goodness. Who y'all trying it? Now you about to get people in arguments with their partner.
What? I'm just saying, brothers, you're not ejaculating enough. So talk to your woman. For all the niggas out there who trying to get side pieces and things of that sort, maybe you can use this as your argument.
Side pieces.
All the other all the niggas who interested in poly and shit. Maybe this argument might be able to help you out to be like, I'm trying to reduce, girl, prostate cancer running my family. I'm just trying to reduce my risk. And I know you ain't up to providing me with 21 orgasms a month.
The self-ejaculation.
So how about we bring somebody else into this? So I'm just saying, for all the fellas out there who are trying to, get these arguments out there for, whatever you're trying to do, side pieces, polyamorous stuff, whatever. This might be a good argument for you.
About self-ejaculation. Hello.
Nyambi. Look. I'm
we
like
need to
the
have
gun.
Another sets episode, I think, because
I'm like the gun owners here.
We had another sets and porn episode because Niram, you don't have time to get these people in trouble.
No, I'm like the gun owners. You know how the gun owners, they try to do everything else instead of taking the guns away. So at this point, we're trying to do everything else.
Jack off, then.
Look, we're trying to do everything else except for jack off. So for all the fellas out there,
Jesus,
who trying to get those side pieces and polyamorous, this might be a good argument for you. Don't you want to save my life? Prostate cancer running my family.
Me, Lord.
21 nuts a month will lower my risk for prostate cancer by 33%. Fuck boys, you're welcome.
You really about to start arguments on this long weekend. I know you about to make us feel guilty. No. Didn't we just say black woman is to support and black men to be supported? The only conclusions niggas and this include white niggas, can come up with is that they need more ass. Even educated motherfucker. That's the outcome.
That was the outcome.
Just kill me. Oh my God. Just listen to that. That's the outcome.
That was the outcome.
And these supposed to be the brilliant minds.
It is the brilliant minds.
Yep.
Did you? I don't know if you've seen it because I know you've been working. But on Reddit, some childish.
Who just watches Reddit? What?
I'm just saying.
I don't know how to work Reddit.
So the Childish Gambino Hive have went to a pro Donald Trump subreddit. It's called the Donald, and went there and rated that shit and put all types of Donald Glover memes up there and everything else, and was just saying like the only Donald that we acknowledge is Glover. And the shit was hilarious because the mod for that subreddit
Y'all
is like
trolling though.
inactive, has been inactive for like 4 months. So people are like, what the fuck is going on? Somebody get these niggas off of here and things of that sort, and they just keep posting stuff.
They keep going.
It's hilarious.
We talked about that about the Oakland, right? Instead of us doing the same old, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it, right? We got to have folks who gonna do the sit-ins and the but you know what? We some millennials, right? How do we get creative with this?
Right.
How do we use social media as this activist tool in a creative way, like more than, Twitter clapbacks, right? So how do we use technology in activism? Mm-hmm. I'm sure people about to begin PhDs in technology and activism. Yeah. And how do you use them, right? It's a tool. It's a tool that we have that our ancestors didn't. So how do we utilize that motherfucker to the fullest?
Right.
That's literally killing them with kindness. That's civil disobedience at its finest.
Oh, it gave me so much joy.
It is civil disobedience at its finest.
The only Donald I acknowledge is Glover.
And that ain't nothing. You ain't hurt nobody. Ain't calling nobody names. It's civil disobedience. Mm-hmm. MLK would be proud. MLK and Gandhi would be proud of us.
I hope so. I'm happy.
Because some stuff, not so much.
And just lastly, because I'm big into podcasts, a big shout out to the Black Guy Who Tips podcast. They just announced that they are having their first live show in September.
And they the ones who they ain't the biggest fan of live shows. Because both of them are, one of them aren't they like self-proclaimed like, I'm an introvert, I don't have time for this shit.
Right.
Is that both of them or one of them? You listen a little more consistently than
I do. I know Rod is more of an introvert because he's like, being around people drains me. And Karen's like, being around people like gives me energy. So I know Rod would be like,
this is too much. So y'all give him some slack. If he don't be staying after the show, don't go chase his ass down.
But that's the thing. Like they're doing like meet and greets and everything else too.
What?
So
where they doing it at?
They doing it in South Carolina.
Because that's where they at, right?
Yeah, they're in the Carolinas. Or North Carolina. I'm trying to figure it out now. Something going on with the internet. But I'm just super excited. The tickets just went on sale. And
I wish we were a little closer to support.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, now that we're on the other side of the U.S.
And I'm having anxiety about money. I can't. What? I can't.
No, actually, it's in Charlotte. It's in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. But big shout out to them because I know for them it's definitely a big move, especially for them to be podcasting for like over 8 years. I definitely wanted just to give them a shout out because they was like our first guest on our podcast, and I know that by having them on our podcast, we did have like a signal boost of like people coming and checking us out and things of that sort. So
yeah, they're great, right? They've been in this game for what, over a decade?
Yeah, almost 8 years. 8 years or so.
Yeah, that's a decade.
Yeah. So
and we coming up on our year anniversary. Oh my God. We'll keep y'all updated on what we're gonna do for that year. We're coming over to a year.
Yeah, it's fast. It came up fast. Mm-hmm. So they doing like for like $50 a ticket for the VIPs. You can do like a meet and greet. So they do like a 45-minute to an hour meet and greet, and they like sign all the merch that you bought or whatever. But
nice, good for them.
I think it's a big move for them. I know, especially doing like your first live show and being independent. Where you don't have a network behind you, it can be a little it can be a lot of like nerve wracking because I know even for us, like sometimes we even I won't say bump heads, but we even have like different philosophies and ideas on like how to like present merch or like how we just how we want to do things. And I think sometimes one of us might be a little bit more nervous about doing something and want to do it a little bit more conservative versus another person. And I just I respect that they put whatever differences aside and decided to get it going and actually got a date and got a venue and moving forward with that. I know they had to put some money up to at least secure the venue.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure they're just gonna be happy to break even because that's the thing when you do something like that, you just want to break even, right? Of course, you make a little coin, but you're just hoping to break even.
And that's the thing, like that's one of the things of like being like Black independent, that you're nervous because you like, what if I ain't that hot as I think I am, and like
it's just me, you, Tam, and Dan, honey,
right?
I'm like, child, I could have made some food at home.
Exactly.
Could have just came to the crib.
So I know that's one of the things that's probably rolling in the back of their head of like.
No, but they should keep going. They should be going. It's well deserved, right?
Yeah, it is. So if we was a little bit closer, if
we was in New England, we would go.
Exactly.
But we gonna be saying good juju to y'all though.
Absolutely. So big shout out to them. Like, I love what they doing, and I really appreciate them, man.
Keep in mind when their day is near them, and we're going to highlight them as the Black, in the intro.
Okay.
We're going to dive into their business. Maybe we'll do some snippets from their episode when they were on here.
Yeah, or maybe we just have them back on again.
Yeah, ask them. They get in Hollywood, honey. Get on there. They be booked.
So maybe we can get on their calendar.
How about you get on their calendar? They be booked with a T.
Alrighty. We got a Black love story, y'all.
Yeah. Yes, we actually got a few. Like I told you, it's waves of them, right? Yeah. So it'll be waves where we get like so many, and we're going for weeks and weeks, and then there'll be like times where it's none for a few months. But Nerum, the one who manifested that cuffing season shit.
It is cuffing.
I blame Nerum.
Whatever.
For the eaves and flows, but we got to be honest. So that's how it is. Sometimes when you dating, it be a dry spell, right? Mm-hmm. Then sometimes the love overflow.
It be running over.
Oh, that made me miss my church and mass. Did the pastor talk about the cup overflowing during your sermon? Is he still talking about the cup and overflow?
No, he didn't.
Of blessings of grace. Oh, I kind of miss my church. I need to send them a postcard.
You can send them a postcard because when I went there that one time for you, they was all up on, I'm just so proud of y'all. I'm grabbing on my shoulder and shit. How I don't like to be touched by church people. And they were just all up on my shoulders and shit. Because they're so weird.
It's not weird.
They shake your hand overly too long. I'm like, let my hand go. And they grab your shoulder in between your shoulder and your collarbone, right in that trap ever.
The demon out.
And be like, how you doing, brother? And I'm like, why are you grabbing me in my neck area? Like, that's too much personal, brother. Like, can we just give a pound or a brother hug and move on?
They have joy.
Oh, okay.
And the enemy don't like joy.
This week's Black love story is from Frank and Felicia, who has been together.
That needs to be a show.
I know, right? Who has been together for 26 years and married for 25.
God is the glory. They got married after 1 year.
Yeah, hey.
Come on, Frank and Felicia.
Come on, Frank and Felicia. They the goats.
That need to be a show. I hope they have everything embroidered.
What, Frank and Felicia?
That's my hood tendencies coming out. Me and Nia like things with our names on it.
Y'all niggas do. So Naomi, you want to get into this?
Yes. So the first one is, how did y'all meet? Mm-hmm. First, you should know that he's a pastor and I'm first. Like, come on. So Pastor Frank, Nerum, you did not put respect on their name. Oh. So this is Pastor Lady Frank and First Lady Felicia.
What? Pastor Lady Frank? What? I
said Pastor Frank and First Lady Felicia.
Okay. First Lady Fifi?
No, you're not on nickname basis with the First Lady.
No.
You was just talking trash about church. And now you want to be on nickname terms with them. You're not.
Yeah, not.
So First Lady says, I was working at Burger King at night. I was still in school in Southern University as a pre-med major. And at that time, I was in a relationship. My boyfriend and I were going through some things. I had just heard that my boyfriend was cheating on me. In fact, I was working with the food at Burger King. That'd be the worst. Ain't it the worst? Just I don't know if it's a woman thing, black woman thing. When you get bad news at work, since I've been working these few years, I understand now when my parents be like, don't let them call me at my job.
No.
There's a certain couth you still have to maintain.
Right. You got to go in the bathroom and cry for like 2 minutes and then you got to get back out.
While you at work, right? Mm-hmm. Let them call me anytime, but do not have these motherfuckers calling up to my job. So First Lady, I'm with you. Next thing I know, someone called me to the front saying someone wanted to meet me. He says, we made eye contact, but I didn't remember that. Moving on to know me is, is to know that I'm very shy. I'm not very social, but I went up there anyway. This dude introduced himself to me and I introduced myself back. We talked for a bit and I told him I was in a relationship. He told me he didn't want to be my boyfriend. He just wanted to be my friend. We finished talking.
Pause. That is some pimp shit right there. We used to do that shit in Detroit. Well, I don't want to be your boyfriend. I just want to be your friend, girl.
You ain't say it like that.
Yeah.
Did you lick your lips while you said it?
Just like that. Lick the bottom lip and everything. LL Cool J style.
Stop. You trying to do it like the older guys did, like the cat daddies did it, but y'all young ones can't do it like them because they be sounding sincere and y'all sound thirsty. We finished talking and I went back to work, but then he called me back over and asked how he can get in touch with me, and I gave him my number. After talking for about 2 weeks, I went away for a couple days with my grandfather for Mardi Gras. When I got back, we talked on the phone and I told him I missed him. Then my then boyfriend called while we were talking and I put Frank on hold. I clicked back over to him and told him who was calling. And he told me to tell him, my boyfriend at the time, don't call you anymore. So I clicked over and told him, Frank said, don't call me anymore. And that was it. That's started and shit.
Pastor.
What the guy said.
Right.
He's supposed to do and not say nothing.
Pastor, that's some game, brother.
You know, when you equipped with the power of the Lord, all things are possible.
Well, I don't know. Look, at first he wasn't with the power of the Lord.
Always. He's always in your spirit. He's just on the crooked path like I am.
Pastor Frank said, I was a wayward child indulging in street life and multiple unsatisfying relationships.
Oh, I'm sorry. You read? I thought you made this up.
No, that's what it say.
I said that sounds like a pastor. All right, no, read. Oh, so this is what you first mean. Read pastors again.
I was a wayward child, indulging in street life and multiple unsatisfying relationships.
How you change your voice?
One night, I was riding alone at 19, and I felt a great void that provoked me to do something different, and prayed to God for a woman who will compliment me. Now at this time, I was not church going or saved at all. I was a very young and naive, but still asked God to send me a wife. Not another situationship or eye candy, but my wife.
Because them all things, right? Some people pray for those things. Some people pray for situationships and eye candy, them trophy wives. But you got to be in the right mental space to pray for a wife or a partner or a husband, right?
Mm-hmm. 2 weeks afterwards, I did a favor for a friend. He wanted to meet a relative of mine so he can holler at her. We were riding in another city. We were hungry, and at the end of the day. We stopped at Burger King to eat. We walked in and placed our orders, and suddenly my eyes stopped on a young woman working there.
Look at the Lord speaking to you.
My friend noticed my interest and asked her co-worker to ask her to come closer so I can meet. She walked towards me and we began to talk. Me being a player that I was.
Come on.
Me being a player from the Himalaya that I was. I tried to run a line, but because of the purity I saw in her eyes, I found myself being transparent with her. We talked for a moment. Then she told me she was taken. I was so captivated by her that I asked her for her friendship. We exchanged numbers, and I called her a couple days later, not wanting to seem too eager. You didn't want to seem thirsty, Pastor. You didn't want to seem too thirsty.
Ain't no wrong. After I say over the age of 30, you can call the next day. My life is ticking away.
This happened at 19, baby.
I know. That's why I just told everyone, when you hit over 30, don't wait no days, because if you wait more than 48 hours, I'm deleting your number.
Pastor was trying to be hungry, but not being thirsty.
I know.
So we got to know each other over a week. I knew she was someone special. A week into our conversation, shifted, and we realized that there was more than friendship. She was in an unsatisfying relationship. I was in 3. You heard right. 3 different relationships. Player from the different layer. That's what I'm talking about.
Who seen that song at the same damn time?
Yeah. That's Future.
Future at the same damn time.
And I realized 3 of them did not equate to one of her. Woo, that's game.
Come on.
I realized that 3 of them did not equate to one of her.
Well, Beyonce told her, I gave you half of me, and she ain't even half of me. She said that.
We came to a point where we realized we needed to move past the situationships that we were in. I saw her as my future, ambitious, intelligent, beautiful women who loved God. Contrary to the previous relationships that I had been in, she did not first invite me to the club or anywhere like that. She invited me to church with her.
Ooh, come on.
At that time, she sang for her dad at the church. Ooh, she's a pastor daughter. And
it's a separate episode.
And when
I got cousins who PKs. Yeah.
Ooh, preacher kid. More power to you. And when I went, I was overcome with emotion from the sound of her voice. Within 24 hours of that experience, changed my life, and I made a commitment to God more than my commitment to her.
That's good. I love that, right? And I love the self-reflection.
See, y'all should be on a Black Love doc. That's a lot more interesting.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Them just writing this, right? And I'm sure they didn't take all day to write this. That's why I had such high. And I think y'all don't get my words twisted. Y'all love to twist Nyambi words around. I just give constructive criticism. I wanted to feel it, right? I don't know who is over there censoring them. But the thing is, I think it's some censorship there too, because some of these people are high profile.
Right.
And I think they being careful what they say. I don't know if they're going to mess up what's it called? When you get your prenup. No, I'm talking about their prenup.
Are you talking about their prenup thing? So that's yeah.
Come on. You'll pull up the tapes, right?
Right. You said you wasn't here for that. You was just trying to beat. I won't have.
So it's just something, yeah. Like we gonna do our book. I'm claiming that book into fruition this year. Our Black Love coffee table book. And Pastor, First Lady, we need y'all in it. Pastor, we might have to have you write the foreword or something. First Lady and Pastor, because even his first sentence, I knew this was about to be some good shit.
I'm telling you, that sound like
in front of the pastor.
It just sound like the first sentence of a sentence. I mean, first opening of a book. I was a wayward child indulging in the street life and multiple unsatisfying relationships.
I'm thinking of opening to a sermon, and this Nyambi in the church.
One night I was riding alone at 19, and I felt a great void.
And look, Pastor, what we gonna offline, Pastor and First Lady? Let's touch base so we can do a Black Love devotional. Oh, come on! I knew you spelled that go through your spirit, Neil.
No.
A Black Love devotional. You don't gotta be a part of Nyam, be part of it.
Okay.
Because they always do it separate, right? It'd be like, Black woman, is you lost? What TDJ?
You talking about woman out there loose?
TDJ always saying we lost, honey. That's my boy. He could throw down a sermon, but he always telling us we lost. Not lose. What is it, lose?
Yeah.
I think I was correct. My aunt said that. I want that TDJ. Are we lost? I said, what? Is the T in that? I said, I don't think you're lost. I think it's lost. You know, you gotta be careful. I can't be correcting my family too much. I just let them go. Or it's the man's version, right?
Right.
But where is this idea of a couple devotional?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and you know, maybe near we tag team on it, and it's not called a devotional, right? It's called something else, right? So if you believe in a spiritual, what I'm saying, what you call it, Nero? I done lost train of thought because the Lord was in my spirit.
Well, the grand architect of the universe.
Yeah, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, or that. And you know, how do you do it where it's, or how can you do it where it's multi-religion? What is that called? It's not multi-religion. Mm-hmm. Like interfaith.
Yes.
Interfaith. Oh, God. Interfaith devotional. For love. So it don't matter what you believe in, right?
Right.
It don't matter if you know, it's Black Jews, if you're Jewish, if you're Catholic, if you know what I'm saying, if you're Koji, you're Baptist. You know, the church I go to, what is it? Multi-generational, multi-ethnic.
Yes.
Diversity champion church. Right. I don't know.
Y'all Christian Fellowship Center. I don't know what the hell y'all are.
Don't be telling me. Don't be people rolling up on me. Like, I think that would be amazing, right? So, Pastor and First Lady, we might reach out to you on some guidance on that.
Yeah.
Next is, what's the key to the success of your relationship? Go ahead. You being pastor, ain't you? I'm first. Go ahead.
Jesus, and she is my helpmate.
I love how it's just so cut and dry. Come on. First Lady said, Jesus and communication. Come on. And both of them says, our love for each other, our love for God, and our love for our children. It's something about, you know, and Nirm, I know you say green architect, and I know some folks don't believe in God. It's something about having a core grounding, right? So I think that's how you relate that back. So if you don't necessarily believe in God, you know, or anything like that, I think it's something very important about having a core grounding.
Right.
Relationship. And that can be core values. It can be, you know, I'm losing train of thought on the other word I was thinking. But that's what I translate that.
Yeah, like I feel like you had morals, beliefs, core values. You got to have something that you stand on. Like, you got to live life by. You know, it might not be the Bible. It might be the street. It might be the grand architect. It might, you know, it's something.
The street code of ethics, honey. Come on. But saying. I know what you're saying, though. Yeah. You have to have that common foundation and grounding that no matter what you're going through, right? And that's what I do for God, right? No matter what I'm going through, my ground is always back to the Lord, right? It's always coming back to that. Good, bad, or ugly is coming back to that. And if you don't believe in God, or you don't believe in grand architect, or whatever it is, you have to have some type of core values or ethics or some beliefs that you can come ground yourself in during good, bad, and ugly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even the street dealers got some type of core or moral ethics behind them. Yeah, your compass. So where's that moral compass at? Like, where do you go back to recenter or recalibrate, right? So how do you get your calibration right? Because we all of us go through it. In the best of relationships, there's going to be times where you have to recalibrate your relationship. And it doesn't mean recalibration, we breaking up, but just getting back to the core basic values where you take both of you out of it to say, well, we both came together because we believe in boom, boom, boom as a higher institution, right? Yeah.
And that's where you connect to. And if you don't have that as a grounding, that's when it becomes slippery. You know, I believe that's what Jay-Z was talking about. He was saying, you know, our foundation was all fucked up.
Yeah.
We didn't have common, you know, these common core. We thought the thing is, no one's core beliefs or value are better than the other one, right? No. But as a unit, you have to agree on some of those.
It needs to at least be some overlappage.
It has to be some overlapping of those. And when they don't overlap at all, that's what I really see the breakdown. And again, no one's is better than the other, right? But when you're a unit, there has to be some continuity there.
Right.
Where's it? What advice would you give to young married couples? It says, never lose your friendship. Challenges will come, but the love that brought you together can sustain you. Also, don't see your partner through others people's vantage point. Keep your business to yourself. Keep the fire burning. Hey to the man.
You know, we always say, keep your family out your shit.
Your family out of it. And I think it's okay to have friends, and it can be family, right? But just be careful. Like, I think you got to be careful with that core family. Like, don't be telling your mama every single thing. And I don't even know how to say this nicely. Like, you could tell your close family things, but it's a way to tell them you're going through something without painting such a horrible picture about your spouse. It's okay to tell your mom, like, yeah, we're having a rough patch now. Right. But you don't got to be like, I ain't getting dick down every day.
This nigga, he done came to me talking about he needed to ejaculate 21 times a month.
Like, oh, that's where you go maybe to your girlfriend to be like, sis.
Right.
It's you and Gerald doing that.
Are you helping him with prostate cancer?
Cancer. Exactly. That's why you got to. Sometimes that's why you got to have friends. So you can come to Naomi and be like, "Girl, that's some bullshit." Tell Gerald, old lying ass. You're a liar. So, you know, it's just the difference, right? We maybe will come to a girlfriend with more stuff like that, and you might not come to a girlfriend like, "Girl, I'm about to leave his monkey." You know what I'm saying? I think it's about that. I think we talked about that, having that broad sounding system where you're not giving everybody everything, right? And I think through relationships, you learn what you can give to people, because you also don't want to be emotional dumpsters for people. You don't want to be that friend when they be like, here she go. Her and Gerald, man, honey. They go.
Right.
There they go again.
21 times a month.
Be quiet now. And then challenges will come. Yeah, I agree. Love brought you together. And seeing your partners do other people's vantage points. Yeah, so you got to be careful about that. I think that comes more with family because family try to tell you what it is, right?
Right.
But I will say, and I think this is something me and Nia say, if one person say it, maybe not.
Two or three?
I'm with two. To me, when it hit 3 and 4, that's when we gotta.
You got a problem.
That's some stuff you gotta come start doing. And it's the 3 or 4 people that you don't even kind of go to them. They the folks who see it as their duty. I gotta tell you this shit. Anything else you want to tell us about the story? Come on, Pastor Nero.
We've been through a lot. She had to drop out of school and join the military. I end up. Yeah,
that's a story. And it's, oh my God, y'all so gonna be a part of this book.
She had to drop out of school and join the military. Damn, why?
And being a woman of color in that military, sis, that need a devotional too.
Yeah. Yes. I ended up following her and we got married. We were 20-year-olds living not only on our own, but in a whole new world.
Absolutely.
Hawaii is where she was stationed. Damn, Hawaii? No, volcanoes and shit. She stuck by me through. She stuck by me through lost jobs, and when I told her I was called to preach, and I had to work for the church as well as for different jobs. I had a heart attack 4 years ago, and she did CPR on me until the ambulance came and saved my life. Damn.
That's old. And y'all want these thotty girls on Instagram. This is a real one.
This is the real one.
This is a whole story.
Yes.
Oh,
woo.
The ambulance came to save my life.
Right. Ooh. She had to give you chest compressions to keep you alive. And some of these sisters came hold the door open for you when you unlock the door.
You need to bring the groceries in. You and me are petty. We're not doing that. Y'all been getting way too many conversations. I'm gonna have to 3-way into y'all calls because y'all are enabling each other.
What you talking about? You at work? You ain't calling nobody.
I'm gonna have to bust up and nobody better not send me the voicemail. Who called you? Nyambi.
No.
Who called you? Nyambi.
Oh.
Okay. Send me the voicemail if you want.
I believe God tailored us for our significant other before we've manifested on earth. You'll know when you meet your helpmate, but the key is to mine is the key. The key to mine was to keep going, to keep God first in every stage of life. Since she's been my help, never settle.
Come on. And First Lady Felicia said, we got married young, but we persisted through. We still, after 25 years of marriages, have challenges, and he still works my nerves constantly. I know, but we're still friends. He makes me laugh every day. Love isn't easy, but it's worth it. And if you have the right partner. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm. They're a beautiful couple, too, Naomi. Did you see their picture? I'm
about to go see it now. But yeah, I'm sure they're cute. You hear me? I'm sure they cute. Just by their names, they cute, right?
Right.
Y'all, we gonna be reaching out to y'all for when we do this book. This is look at them. Please, how long they been together? They young.
Right,
they on that Jada, whatchamacallit?
Yeah, I'm at Jada and Will.
Yeah, we gotta moisturize.
Or something.
I want folks to see pictures of us and not be like, ooh. They did have a rough 2 years.
Look, that's why I need to get back to Colonizer Valley so I can get out in that sun. You know, that sun clear up everything.
Our listeners are real sweet to us. They had a rough 2 years, y'all. It's okay. Leave them alone. They get a pass. That's what they're going to tell us. They get a pass.
Right. Look.
Like,
we be so worried to see what they look like. Now we done seen them. Ooh, I wish they would have kept it. I wish they would have kept it a secret.
Because you know y'all cutthroat out there. We ain't making those shit up. Y'all know y'all just as crazy as we are. So, we tell the truth and shame the devil. So I only can imagine what foolishness y'all will say. But no, thank y'all so much, Frank and First Lady.
Absolutely.
Look, we're going to be real name, Frank and Felicia.
Frank and Felicia. You want to hop into Pillow Talk?
Which ones you want to do?
So I picked out a couple things from Psychology Today. We can, read them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this one was very interesting. So the topic for this one is 5 pieces of bad dating advice exposed. Research shows that popular dating wisdom is wrong.
Yeah.
So this article just breaks down 5 things. Yeah, huh?
Oh, man, you just pause. It's wrong.
It's just wrong. No, it just says like there's no shortage of bad dating advice out there. Between like self-help books and magazines and things of that sort. But this person decided to take on 5 of the most common tidbits. So the first one was, when you meet the right person, you'll know right away.
I agree. Wrong. I ain't know Naren was gonna be my forever.
No, me either.
I ain't know Naren was gonna be my weekend.
Exactly. I was like Pastor.
What would you like? How would you like him, Naren? Oh, now you relating everything back. How would you like him?
3 Naren? Did not even equate to her 1.
Is that true? Is that how you felt?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have any good girlfriends before me?
Yeah, I had a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like Pastor. I was in some situationships when I met you.
Were you emotionally ready to be in a relationship too? Sometimes you just be preparing other people for their forevers, right?
But that's also the thing. Like, I even think about that because we were friends for almost like a year and a half before we even started dating. So
to the point where I wasn't asking him who he dating, he been asking me who I'm dating. Huh?
Right. We were just friends. So that friendship kind of grew into like a relationship. Yeah. So that was one of the things they said. When you meet the right person, you'll just know either way. And they were just saying like, this is definitely bad, and how some long-term relationships start off as friendships, or things doesn't just happen at like love at first sight. Most of the time it's lust.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that what the movies and our culture does that, right? So it's something that says when you see the person instantly, it's like, oh, I'm the one. And I think it's something I think the Black Love talked about that a little bit. Maybe when we review that Monday, we can flesh that out a little bit more, right? But it doesn't always happen all the time. It doesn't always happen instantly. It's something that happens over a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something about growing and developing with someone that I think is very special.
Right.
And unique, right? Mm-hmm. Seeing their growth. Mm-hmm. What's the next one there?
So the next one is this is another bad advice. If you're interested in someone, you should play hard to get.
I just said that, didn't like. I think that's maybe an age thing, right? So maybe when you're younger, you don't got to be ultra thirsty. But I think when you get older, just say it.
Yeah, I do think so. Like, as you get older in the game, you just like, what, I want you.
Yeah.
Or like, not even like that, but like, I'm interested in you. And I think,
yeah,
they was just saying like, the most attractive people, like some people are afraid to like approach very attractive people, that sometimes they might even miss out on the person that they're supposed to be with.
Thought they don't want.
Yeah. And they're just saying like the best strategy, maybe show the person that you're interested and, you have high standards, but let them know that you meet those standards and you don't want to appear desperate, but show that you still have interest.
Yeah. Sometimes, and the thing is, so that's something you got to play with your own insecurities, right? You have to be okay for a rejection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only thing is, right? Because the only reason you're not reaching out instantly and as being, thirsty and not hungry, right?
Because you're afraid.
Is because you're afraid of rejection.
Right.
And you have to get over that. The worst thing they can say is no.
Is no. And, you miss all the shots you don't take.
Yeah, and that's completely okay. If the worst thing they can say is no, fine.
All right. You got to remember, Biggie was fat and black and ugly as ever, but he had Faith Evans and Lil' Kim.
A whole line before he was famous.
Right.
Yeah, when before he was famous. So don't let that get to you. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, Nerops.
Number 3 was focus on putting your best foot forward until you firmly committed.
I think that's what happened when I say people ticky. Usually people with bomb tendencies do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything will be cute and then all of a sudden they lose their damn mind. And you be like, where the fuck was this hiding?
Right.
This whole time. Another thing I think with age, take me or leave me.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things you do get that with age is that, hey, I'm picky. Sometimes I don't eat all my food.
Yeah.
Take me how I am.
Or sometimes I need you to do it, vice versa, right?
Yeah. And that's just the thing. Like, I think you, instead of like putting quote unquote your best foot forward, you should put your most truest self.
Your authentic self forward.
Exactly.
Just put your authentic self forward. And then if it work, it work. If it don't, guess what? No harm, no foul. This is who I am and this is what I'm about.
Yeah.
Get with it or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is opposites attract. So try to find someone really different than you.
I think this can go either way.
You think so?
Yeah. I think opposites do attract, but I think that doesn't mean you have to find something completely opposite. Like I know a lot of people in relationships that are very similar and they're very successful too. But I think it just depends what you're looking for, where you bond at, right?
Yeah.
What's your thought, Niram? What do you think?
I think what they're trying to say is like try to find somebody that was like completely different from you. And I don't think that's necessarily true. Like there's going to be differences, but you still got to have some type of similarities or some type of connection.
Those common, that core.
Yeah, you still got to have that. Because I even think about, you and me, like we both of us have like, some things that we are similar about, like foundationally, but there's also like thoughts and the feelings and frameworks that we like totally disagree on. So, true. I think, yes, while opposites do quote unquote kind of attract, but you still need to have some type of similarities to keep that thing going.
I like it. Yeah.
And then number 5 is you only meet liars and weirdos when you date online.
Well, that probably was Nyambi's stance 3 years ago. But no, it's from a lot of our Black love story, right? You've seen that people are dating online, right? I don't think all the crazies online. What's your advice, Niram? You said go to the ones you got to pay a little money.
Yeah, go to the ones you got to put a little skin in the game with.
If you're a little nervous, try that one. But if not, I think you really can meet, even on the free ones. I think you can meet. I think you just have to do your due diligence, right?
Right.
Like, think of it as online purchasing. You just don't go to any old website and just put your credit card there, right? If you're doing meet folks online, the ticky's going to be pretty explicit. You know what questions it asks to see if they're not responding to you right. And even if they are responding to you right, don't make your first date at your house, right? Do it at a very public Panera at noon, right?
Right.
Preferably at least 30 minutes from your house. Like, there's ways to do this, or be Miami to the 10th. Have a friend come with you and just sit at a table that they don't know your friend there.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm like, sis, you be back there so you got a good line of vision to this.
Right. See what car he driving, get his license plate number.
Come on. So, like, I do believe, and especially in our age of social media, right? Everything's just more technology. Like, we have to use it. Just like back in the day, I'm sure some things, back in the day, what folks used to meet more like in church and stuff like that, right? So I had people were thinking that next generation was crazy when they was meeting in clubs, right?
Right.
Or, folks introducing them like, so, we got to stay with the time and be open, because no telling how our children going to be meeting and dating.
Right.
But it's probably going to go further and further away from the more traditional happenstance, right? So, we just have to be open to it and not steal joys of previous generations just because it's something new and unknown.
Absolutely.
My takeaway from online is you just got to be safe, right? You got to use different precautions. Just like you had to be safe when you went out to the club and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You don't go home with every Negro or Negress you see at the club. You don't take every drink, right? You don't take every drink that's given to you. Same thing online. You just have to use that type of awareness too.
Absolutely. No. You're speaking the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when niggas ain't shit out here.
Oh, man. Didn't we just say we're doing better?
I know. So
we're not using all-encompassing topics.
I know. And then the next one from Psychology Today that I found, since niggas ain't got joy and motherfuckers ain't happy and things of that sort, especially when it came to this.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, especially when it came to the royal wedding, motherfuckers, hating ass,
y'all
dry
was
ass.
A little bitter, but some of y'all
Hoteps was out there. I found another article for y'all to help y'all through today.
You know what that was? That the Hoteps were very unhappy about this wedding. But go ahead.
So this article was titled 5 Ways You Can Be Happier Starting Today. So 5 strategies you can use to be happier. First strategy number 1 is choose gratitude. So, go ahead. Feeling appreciation.
Say I was about to say something. Go
makes
ahead.
Makes us, measurably happy. So, choosing to have that gratitude for things that you have in your life. I
always tell folks gratitude is a weapon. I always tell people use praise is your weapon, right? It confuses the enemy. So I really had to just learn to get in this practice, no matter what I'm going through, to be grateful for something. Like you, and when on the toughest days, sometimes you're like, oh, thank you Jesus for waking me up this morning. Just something. And I even noticed by just saying it out loud or writing it down, it does make me feel better. Because y'all know I try to do meditation and it makes me anxious. But this idea of gratitude, right? Because some folks don't got it. Some folks didn't wake up this morning. Some people don't, just did not have the opportunity. That sometimes you have to snap yourself out of it, right? So, I love gospel songs. Sometimes you got to encourage yourself.
So that's the thing.
Nobody else. Right? You have to encourage yourself. And gratitude is a great form of encouragement.
Absolutely. And the thing is, for those of you who like pray for like resiliency, determination, you got to be put in those situations to get there. So in order to show that you're resilient, you got to be in a situation where you're going to be down and you got to be resilient. So, just think about that. Like there's still some type of gratitude that has to happen in that situation, because even when you ask for forgiveness, you pretty much praying for somebody to do you wrong, so you can't forgive them. So
absolutely,
something to think about.
Yeah.
Number 2 is choose to make the most of life by seeing the bright side.
Be optimistic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an optimist. I'm a realist. I don't think I'm a pessimist. I think I am a realist, though.
Nyambi is a pessimistic, pragmatist. I can't even get it out. Pragmatist.
Pragmatist, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
that's
you,
what
Neil.
you are.
I'm a realist.
Yeah, so just choose optimism.
But I am trying to
is
do
healthier, it's happier, it's full of relationships, it's full of life. I feel like being around someone who are optimists can kind of even wear off on you, because you see them and like, damn, like I love your energy.
Look how they old happy ass.
Right. And now I'll be like, oh, happy ass nigga. That shit ain't gonna happen.
I noticed that happened when I was at work one day, because I asked one of my direct reports something like, what's one thing you can change or something you could change? And she was just like, I just tend not to think about that. Like, no, I said, because I think she transferred from another department. I said, oh, that must have been hard. She's like, I try not to think about that. Everything has its reason, rhymes, and purpose. I just try to be positive. My old Black revolutionary stuff was like, sis, the revolution won't, like in my head, right? But I was like, you know what? That is good. You're younger, right? Think about that. Keep that and bottle it up. And there was something about that lightness that she had about her that old Auntie Nyambi ain't had to come throw hell on it.
And that's the thing, like being woke. I told you there's no joy in being woke. And sometimes you just gotta turn it off sometimes.
Yeah, for your own self-care, right? You gotta turn it off and pick your battle. That's why all of us have to be in this game together. Right? So if Nyambi get tired, Neeram pick it up. If Neeram get tired, Nyambi picked it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how you continue to fight moving forward, because you can't be on all the time 100%.
Right.
It's not healthy.
It's surely not. Number 3 is choose to stay conscious and present even with the discomfort. So
you
it
have
says,
to feel.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, especially about the discomfort piece, that's something I had to learn, right? So I think I'm very good at being present when I'm happy and just being able to share gratitude. But I think sometimes it's so hard to be in discomfort that you want to skip over discomfort and being to no feelings, right? You want to be numb, right? I think that's one of the most scariest place to be, when you're numb, right? I think that's one of the hugest signs, one of the biggest signs, I should say, if you need to see a counselor, seek help, because you're human. Your feelings shouldn't be numb, right? You have to feel something, and you have to feel the pain and go through the pain to make it to the other side. You just can't hop, skip, and jump over that piece, right? Joy and happy, that stuff is on the other side of that, and you really have to feel it and go through it and allow yourself to be vulnerable to do that, right? It's a state of vulnerability that needs to be there.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think it's also harder, especially in this age of social media and cell phones. And I was watching a video. I can't remember what it was. It was like a video. It was like 3 minutes of nothing. And the guy was just talking about how short people attention spans is. And it's like, this is a test to see if you can focus on this video for 3 minutes and not do anything. And you'll be the only person who know if you accomplish this or not.
Yeah.
So it's just sounding like even in this age of social media, cell phones, it's kind of hard to be present, because we're so tied to this phone and just so tied to like being connected that, when you do have discomfort, it's so easy to be like, all right, checked out Twitter, Instagram,
all set.
Scroll.
All set.
Yeah. Number 4, choose what it is.
Yeah. Stop worrying about what coulda, shoulda, woulda. Maybe if I did it this way, would it be different? What the universe is the universe.
Right.
I'm getting to the age where it don't matter what you did, right? Some way, somehow, it still was that was gonna be the outcome. I was on a call with some I do certain groups. I haven't forgot about you, sis. I'm gonna email you about that women's group too. And we were having a conversation, and one of the women just broke down because she had a moment of reflection where she realized she was holding on to some weight because her husband had a stroke or a heart attack or something. And it was tied to this night, like they had to go to this ball or gala. And she made him, air quote, made him go. And she was like, maybe if I didn't make him go to that gala and he didn't drink the wine, because she said, maybe someone was putting his drink or something, he never would have had that, right? And she just bust out into tears because she was carrying that weight. And she felt as if because she bought this ticket and had him come, that's the reason why he had this stroke or heart attack. What?
Yeah,
like
crazy.
On this call, we had to unpack, and she was carrying that. Like, well, what if I did this, and what if we weren't there, and like just this constant. The way she was, and this happened a few years ago, that she was playing in her head, and she was like, I didn't even realize I was holding this type of weight, right? This type of guilt, and it was crazy, and it happens, right? And it was our job to validate and affirm her feelings, but sometimes you just have to take shit for what it is. Like I said before, sometimes you go through shit to go through shit.
Exactly.
And being okay with that. And, even some of the other ladies had to remind her, like, if we're talking about what ifs, well, what if you weren't there? What if you did take him to there and he drove somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And he had this stroke or heart attack on the road where he can hurt other people and himself, right? And other families would have been devastated. Like if we're going to start down that road, it's 100,000 different ways this could have turned out. Right. But the universe wanted the outcome to be this for this reason, right? Sometimes you have to trust into that. I don't know, but that's what when you said that's what just made me think.
And that's pretty much what it said was like, trying to pursue perfection, actually sabotages happiness. So, just holding on to reality that you're experiencing and being present. It also goes back to being present and just knowing that, some ideal things can never be attained, especially when it's like perfect. So I even think about, the t-shirts that we put out the first time and how, that went out, and I was like, well, I'm not really satisfied with that, but what I'm going to do now, the shirts is already out there. Well, it's like, well, I'm going to create this, shop for the website. And, initially it wasn't the way I wanted it to be, but I was like, I'm still going to continue to work on it until, it is what it is. But just knowing that you just can't stop or put things on pause because shit ain't perfect and things ain't what you thought it was going to be in your head.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then the last one is choose love.
Always, right? Always. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the path to happiness requires you to accept and love yourself just the way you are, the messiness and perfections and all. In fact, that's, sometimes think about that the only thing that really matters in life is just to deeply love and to accept yourself. Absolutely.
That was a good one, Nero.
Yeah. Anything else about the 5 ways to become happier?
No, I think it was good to just talk about it and flesh it out and, go through it, right?
Yeah.
All right. You want to do kitchen table talk?
Yeah, let's go into kitchen table talk.
So as always, to submit a question for your kitchen table talk, shoot us the email at blacklovematters@blacklovematters.com. This reads that I have a question about mother-daughter relationship because mine is a special one. And I wanted your insight on this situation I'm having with my mother. And I apologize in advance. It's kind of long. So my mother and I don't really get along. I'm the middle child of 3. And for some reason, I feel like she was the hardest on me. My brother is the oldest. That's her only boy, so you know how that goes. And I have a little sister that gets away with everything. So then there's me. We all have different fathers, and out of 3, if I got to see my father the most, and although there's some jealousy from both my mother, crazy parentheses, right, and my sister, it wasn't all roses when I spent time with my father. He his way of spending time with me was taking me to my brother's, air quote, his son's baseball games where my dad was the quote coach. And I would sit in the dugout and watch the game and get dropped off at home afterwards. That was mostly the quality time that I had with my dad growing up. I was an overall good kid. Always got good grades, great grades actually, and stayed out of trouble solely because both my parents were in NYPD, and I was scared to death to do anything crazy. But as I got to be a teenager, my mom and I butt heads all the time. We'll get to it, and she'll tell me I would never amount to anything. I was boy crazy. I let guys run all over me. Air quote, I admit I did have a lot of guy friends as a teen, but a lot of them were honestly just friends. She even went as far to tell me that I was a mistake. She wished that she never had me. Even hearing that, I tried to apologize and squash the beef, but she told me that she didn't want to be bothered with me and to go away. Like I said, something to hurt her. Something to hurt her. With all of the fighting over my teenage years, she kicked me out multiple times. I was homeless for 2 weeks. Once when I moved in with my aunt, my mom was jealous about that. And when the second time she kicked me out, I went to live with my dad. I've been back and forth between New York and Virginia since 2014 with all of the fighting between me and my mom. My dad moved to Virginia after he retired, so he'll always let me come live with him. Whenever my mom would kick me out, she'll tell members, friends, and people at the church that I abandoned the family and that I don't like her rules and that I thought she was a bad mom. I'm 30 years old now. Yeah, I'm 30 years old now, and I've never in my life said that I thought my mom was a bad mom. She insists that I feel that way. In 2009, I went in the military because I've gotten into it with my father. Air quotes, I guess I wasn't as good as I initially said I was, huh? LOL. And when I knew I didn't want to move back in with my mom, so I joined the service for that reason, amongst others. I really did want to serve my country in some capacity. While in the service, I sought out therapy because I had so many pent-up feelings, thoughts, and emotions about both my parents stemming from how I grew up, and I just wanted to figure out how to navigate through so that I can move forward. My therapist helped me see how much my mom and I are exactly alike. We look exactly alike. We are highly sensitive and we take things personal. She also brought to my attention that I might be a reflection of what my mother doesn't like about herself, and she can't handle that. She suggested that we go to therapy together. I asked my mom if she would come, and she said, no, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm old. I'm set in my ways. I'm not going. So that's that. I decided that I'm going to have the relationship with my mother that I like, but I will give my future kids exactly what I felt I needed, that was needing and was missing from her. Therapy gave me insight on what triggers arguments between my mother and I. I learned how to approach her with something, and I also learned that there's a lot of sensitive subjects that I absolutely cannot touch with her, which sucks because I want to have a friendship with my mother. I want honesty, I want communication, and I cannot have that with her. She takes things way too personally, and everything I say, she takes it as an attack on her parenting skills. And no matter how much I give disclaimer, like, I'm not trying to attack you, I'm coming from a good place, she always hits me with, I failed you, I'm a bad mom shenanigans. I'm sorry I'm taking so long to get to my question. So fast forward to the other day. I called my mom to give her an update on my daughter because she's battling with seasonal allergies. And I called my mom for support because my heart aches for my baby when my baby's uncomfortable and there's nothing I can do about it. So I FaceTime her, and immediately I know she's in the mood. But I just talk to her and keep it light and casual until she hits me with, you should have Farrah come live with me in New York while you get yourself together. I'm like, what?
What?
Yeah, she goes on to say that the baby's father and I spoil her, and that all she has to do is whine, and she gets her way and she get whatever she wants. Immediately, I'm in mama bear mode. I'm not realizing I'm doing exactly what she does, which is taking what she says as an attack on my parenting and decision skills. I'm like, the baby does not get everything she wants. I say no to her a lot. I'm firm and stern with her. Yes, she whines. All 2-year-olds, first of all, she 2, Jesus, have tantrums and attitudes. They're still figuring out how to express their frustrations, but I don't cave in. Her father might be a softy and mush for her, but that's just what it is. My mom was like, I need to discipline her so she knows. I'm like, no, Mom, I'm good, because there's a lot of things that my mom says that I don't agree with. I know the hurt my mom is capable of dishing out when she's upset. She's not about to tell my baby she's worthless and won't amount to anything, or that she's a mistake. That's not about to happen on my watch.
Not on my watch.
Yeah, come on. So I brushed that off. But later on in the conversation, my mom says that Farrah doesn't love her. Lord. In my head, I'm like, oh, Lord, here we
go again.
Oh, Shit. Lord, here we go. And I'm like, what's going on? What's wrong? She's like, oh, it's my birthday month. And I just have the birthday month blues. Number one, not the birthday month move. A whole ass month? What's going on? Number two, Nyambi, she a Gemini and I'm a Sagittarius. And I'm going to leave it there yet. I'm Geminis, honey. And the Sagittarius don't have no patience. So it ain't going to work either way. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. I tried to make a quick joke about being young and fine and she should be excited about her birthday, but nah, that ain't work. It just went to how Farrah doesn't love her, and she just knows Farrah doesn't love her because she can see it on Farrah's face, and Farrah doesn't know her family because I moved to Virginia and I keep her from everybody, and it takes a village, and I need my village, right? Mm-hmm. And she continues to carry on with it. She asks about you, her uncle, her TT all the time, but she's funny acting. Always been, and when I go to call or FaceTime someone, she goes running away from the camera. She does that to everybody. So don't be offended. But my mom continues to carry on with some nonsense. So I said, you know what? You're not going to irritate me with this nonsense. I love you. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. I hang up on you. Everyone know that 2-year-olds are assholes.
Yes. Our godson I want to speak to God Daddy. God Daddy, God Daddy, God Daddy. I get on the phone. This little nigga go in the other damn room.
2-year-old assholes. I think the ages between like 2 and 5. No, actually 2 and 4. They're really assholes.
And I'm like, what's going on? He begged to talk to you. Well, where he at?
No, he done. Play. You're dismissed.
Right.
He just wanted to see if he was around.
Right.
The reason why I moved away from my family, because my mom's side of the family has a lot of her issues and that they need to deal with. They just hold grudges and harbor anger, and nothing ever gets resolved. That's not something I want to expose my daughter to. My mother's solution when Farrah's father and I were struggling together was for me to send Farrah up to New York while we worked through our shit, and that's her solution, because that's what my grandmother did to her. My grandmother had my mom at 15. My great grandmother said, you're unmarried, I'm keeping the baby, and sent my grandmother to New York to get herself together. And my great grandmother raised my mom. So now my mom has mommy issues because she feels abandoned and unwanted. The reason my mom feels like the baby doesn't love her is, get this, we went to do Farrah's hair and Farrah cried bloody murder. I told my mom that Farrah is fake tender-headed and she just gives me a hard time doing her hair sometimes too. But when I tell you, my mom got extremely hurt about that. She packed her shit up and headed back home.
What? To New York?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, she got herself headed back to New York early because she said that she was upset about how the baby was acting. I already expressed to my mom that no matter how hard I'm struggling with or without Farrah's father, I'm not sending her to live with anyone, because she is the baby is my issue. The baby's father was my issue. Hence why we are longer together, right? Mm. And I don't want to see my child away, and then when she gets older, she sits me on someone's couch and says, "Mommy, I felt like you didn't want me." That would absolutely kill me. It bothers me that my mom continues to hint or suggest that Farrah should come live with her. I'm I'm out here just fucking up. Like I'm just out here fucking up and the baby's caught in the crosshairs of my decision, which is not the case. The baby is happy, healthy, and she wants for absolutely nothing. And if I do struggle, I want her to see that yes, her mommy struggled, but I want her to see that her mommy came up out that struggle and flourished. I know I can't protect her from everything, and I would love for her to grow up around her family, but I feel like right now isn't a good time because she can't communicate with me when she sees or hears something crazy. I don't want to miss something that could ultimately affect her in the way she thinks and feels about herself in the future.
Absolutely.
When I first bought her home from the hospital, my grandmother whispered in her ear, "You ain't as pretty as everyone says you are."
What the fuck? Pause. What type of shit is that?
That is some Alice Walker novel shit. Like who the fuck says that to a baby?
To a baby?
Who thinks that about a newborn baby? Mm-hmm. When I was going through shit with my baby's father, my mom was like, "Is there any way you can be with him without expecting him to be perfect? He helps you out with the baby." I'm like, "Mom, I'm not asking him to be perfect. I'm asking him to respect me as the mother of his child. And if he doesn't go above and beyond as a father, he does what he's supposed to do as a father. He shouldn't get a damn cookie for that. Fish don't get points for swimming. They don't get points for being a damn fish. He shouldn't get a pat on the back for changing the diaper. That's his job." She said respect is overrated. And that was the moment I decided that the baby would never spend a long period of time with my mom because she done fucked up my baby's head. She been done fucked up my baby's head all the way. Mm-hmm. But Nirams and Nyambis, am I wrong for keeping my child away from her family? How do you navigate a difficult relationship with your parents and not pass it on to your children? I'm in therapy now and have been for a while to make sure that my mommy issues aren't projected onto the baby. I work on resolving my issues with my mom and with my therapist. I work on resolving issues with my mom with my therapist because I don't know if and when I'll be able to resolve them with my mom. I pray that Farrah and I have the relationship I wish I had with my mom, and I don't keep the family away from Farrah completely, but they can come visit whenever they like. And I make it back to New York to visit, but I don't. What I don't do is leave her alone with them overnight. I don't do long visits with them, but I do that for my sanity and peace. But what are your thoughts on this situation? I'd love to hear your take on it. Nirams?
Ooh, that's a lot to unpack, sis. Are you wrong for keeping hell no, especially when your mama wishing and shit like that. You ain't as pretty as the other babies. Or what you say, you ain't the prettiest they think you are. What type of shit is that?
I told you like an Alice Walker novel.
What type of mommy dearest bullshit is that?
Yeah.
Hell no. Hell nope.
Well, okay, now.
No,
ready to unpack this?
No,
yeah.
I think there's a lot going on. So, it's this generational curse or things going on with great grandma took care of mama, and then grandma, and then grandma, and then now grandma like it's her time.
It's my turn.
And you like, no, son, I'm breaking this curse.
Yeah, you breaking it, right? And by you breaking it, mama's like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Right? So it's challenging her identity in the process and how things are supposed to be done. But yeah, go ahead now.
No, hello? You go ahead. No. I'm trying to formulate my thoughts.
It's a lot. And no, you're not wrong. Like, you're the mother of your daughter. So it's your job to protect your daughter first and foremost. And I think you're doing, well and above and beyond by still making sure there's a relationship there, right? So, but what I would say is advice more so to you is to make sure that, you can't change your mom, right? Like, that's not your responsibility for your mom to find her happiness or to process any of that. And that's what you got to make sure you don't take that weight on. I think it's important for you to still be cordial with your mom, right? And know that she gonna make mistakes and this ain't gonna be the first time she'll slip up, ain't gonna be the last time. But I do think, as a daughter, it's important to, to be there and be cordial, right? But know what's your bandwidth for that, right? So make sure you maintaining your self-care in that and keeping healthy distance. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So this is almost tying back to, I'm curious about, your mother's her upbringing, right? And then your mother's upbringing, right? Because that seems like it's some type of trend almost. Like, I'm almost even curious to see, with your mother and her history. Like, so if she has these 3 kids by 3 different men, right? And it was like this jealousy when she assumed this perceived closeness with your father, right? Was there, right? So was she with these men searching for some type of love, right? Or was trying to fill some type of gap or emptiness that was there, right? Some of this could be playing because she was young, 15, right? So I'm in love, or maybe he ain't want to stick around. Maybe if I had these kids, you know what I'm saying? I can find some love and he'll stay. Or the flip side, sometimes don't got nothing to do with the man. Sometimes women are just looking for love and think that if you have a baby, the baby will love you unconditional. But the thing is, babies don't know how to love unconditional.
Sure, no, they just there.
They just love on their conditions.
Shit, they leeches. They just want milk.
Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then her mama said, well, give me this baby back, right? And then she kind of go on her journey. Like, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff for that to unpack. I really like how, I think it was Jay-Z who says he had to learn to have compassion for his father and what he did, right? So I think that's almost at the part you are with your process, right? You already know what you're supposed to do, so, sis. You ain't need our advice. You ain't supposed to leave your baby over there.
Hell no. No, not until they 6. They can fully have full conversations.
Too young. You know what I'm saying? Like, sis, that's right. But I think
12. Okay.
Point now where you have to just completely unpack it, right? So now you have to learn the compassion for like your mother and your grandmother and the situations that they went through, right?
And also,
but compassion don't mean destroying your joy, though.
And I was going to say also is like knowing the trigger. So, by having this conversation with your therapist, you know that you or your mom have like the same triggers when it comes to certain things. So I remember you saying that y'all look alike, y'all act alike, and y'all even got the same trigger. So, that might be something that you need to think about, or, just have that in the back of your head when you're talking to your mom, is that, all right, what's triggering you is also going to trigger her. So how can you get ahead of that? Because it can go back and forth. Because like you were saying, like it went to the same thing. Now you can get all defensive and shit like that. So how do you be like, all right, I'm gonna take a step back and not get defensive? And next thing you know, y'all both triggering each other and y'all hanging up on each other.
Yeah. So knowing to step back. But no, I think your basic question was like, no. You did right. You got to do what you got to do with your kid. And I'm sure some listeners are out there, this would be good if folks can call in for Listener Friday. I'm sure some folks out there that got family members that they love to death, but they ain't leaving their kids with them. And the thing is, as the kids get older, you might have to have even more transparent conversations with you and your baby, right? So I know you say you ain't want to be on nobody's couch, but this might lead to some couch time to have, like to say, so your daughter can then have the compassion for you. Right? To know why you do certain things and why you think it's so important. Because I'm sure you are raising an independent daughter. They're gonna be like, dang, mama, I got it. You don't got to be there for everything. And you thinking in your head, listen here, Nappy.
The hell I do.
Do you, if you only knew what it is to have a mom who ain't there? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's gonna be it's gonna be the opposite side of unpacking, right?
Right.
It's not gonna be, of course, you're a wonderful mom. Of course, you're gonna be there for it, but it's gonna be the opposite side of unpacking, where she might be like, dang. Get back, give me 50 feet. So I think that's going to be important. But I think it's amazing that you're seeking therapy and being transparent about that and knowing that it's a process and getting this stuff early, right? Because you're young, right? So being aware of this stuff so young and appreciating this, because usually folks wait later in life to kind of come to these conclusions when a lot of the harm has been done, right? And you're trying to undo the harm, but you're being proactive, especially in working with your daughter and your own self. But, I'm sorry you had to go through this, sis, though. But, I think you're at the phase now where, like Neeram said, you got to learn the triggers. The hard part, right? Forgiveness and compassion for your mom, right? So being like, Lord, all that's forgiven, right? But finding the compassion. So finding the human, finding that piece in her to say, okay, yeah, I can see why that would have happened. Yeah. Now, I ain't saying I would have did it or I would have condoned it, right? But I can see how you got there. No. Anything else?
No, I think that's
that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I think that's just overall for all relationships with parents, right? I think you just get to a certain age where you have to realize, understand that they're humans and they made mistakes and they did the best that they could do at that time. Like I think it's something really freeing to get to that moment to be like they did the best they could with what they had at that moment.
Right.
Period.
Absolutely.
When you respect that and set that free, that's at a whole different tone for you and your parents.
Right.
The best they could at that point. And they don't have everything, right? So you think like they didn't have everything they needed, right? Some had more than others, some had less. But just knowing and trusting that they did the best they could with what they had, let it go.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing is that you know what's best for your baby.
Yeah, don't ever let anyone challenge that.
Don't let nobody challenge you on that shit. You know the fuck is best for that little
And there's
girl.
nothing that need to be explained.
Right. You say no because you said no.
No.
Shit. Do what you say, not as...
I'm not even talking about, because family like, well, why? Oh,
because it's my baby.
This is how me and my baby's father, this is how we're moving forward.
Right.
There's no explanation.
None of your business why.
No is a full sentence. I tell people all the time, no is a full sentence.
Alrighty. That was a good episode. I think that was fun. It was a fun episode.
Good. Yes. So as always, to submit your Black Love stories, go to blacklovematters.com/story. To submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. To leave a question or a comment about anything that we talked about today, you can do that on the website, blacklovematters.com, SoundCloud, Stitcher, any form of social media. You can find us at Black Love Matters. That's Black with no K. Also, don't forget about that voicemail on 508-784-1111. That's 508-784-1111. Again, we want to thank Pastor Frank and First Lady Felicia for their beautiful love story. It was amazing. So talk to y'all later. And remember,
love is ever evolving.
Peace.
Peace.